up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the real of reality TV. Well, I wanted to just talk about this really quickly because I'm not into numerology at all, but I definitely am someone that is big into meanings. And I do believe that there are numbers that God has specified for specific purposes and reasons that are of extreme importance. And when Melody noted that she was celebrating the pretty much anniversary of when she left her trash behind, the no good ex-husband that she gave a lot of years to, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of children, as well as poured into and invested in and all of those things to, try to shine up and make trash into treasure, celebrating that she was out of there. And it's so significant because April 4th, 4 and 4 is 8. 8 represents the number of new beginnings in God. And it's been a couple of days since the 4th has come and gone. But when I heard that and when I saw that, my spirit woke up because 8 is one of my favorite numbers. And because it represents new beginnings in the eyes of God, and to know that 4/4 is when she made the decision to leave, I'm quite sure that's not the way she planned it. But look at what God had in store. And it just reminds me of how there are so many things that God has waiting for some of us. But until we make the proper decisions, and for some of us, those decisions may be to cut some people out of our lives, those things can't really happen. And of course, she has lived a life, where she has experienced the blessings as well as the trials and tests, because this is the other thing that I just wanted to say to people who may be watching her journey and may be happy for her. There definitely may be some people who are wondering, when is it going to happen for me? I'm happy for her, but when is it going to happen for me? There's an appointed time for each and every one of us, but also in this life, we will go through trials and tests and tribulations because the Bible pretty much promised it. So I don't want anyone who feels as if they're doing the right things, but just doesn't look like things are happening for them. It's not because you're doing anything wrong, but you also have to realize and recognize that in this life, you're going to go through things. So just because someone may be experiencing things that you would see as blessings, and it doesn't seem like those things are happening in your life, it doesn't mean that you're not blessed. And that's what I really wanted to say, because I don't want people who may be on the outside looking at the outside of someone else's journey and experience to feel that you're not blessed because you're not seeing the things happen in your life that you desire to have happen in your life, like they may be happening for someone that you admire, like Melody. But also know that the journey of the things that she has gone through and experienced, no one should ever want to trade their situations for hers in order to get what she has right now. Because that's the other thing that I feel like a lot of people really need to consider. And I feel like it would really help to remove the thought process that some people have about what's going on in their lives versus what's going on in someone else's lives, and then sitting and comparing. And comparison is a thief of joy, and you really have to get rid of that stuff if you really want to see extreme overflow and prosperity in your life. And even for those that may feel like, oh, I'm blessed because I'm rich, and I'm not naming any names, okay? does it really mean that you are blessed? Because the Bible says that it rains on the just as well as the unjust. But I really wanted to just talk about the significance of the 4-4. Her decided to say, you know what, I'm not going to allow the fear that other people try to instill in me, because that's one of the things that she stated when she had the Mimosas with Melody event, and she did the sit down interview with the content creator that goes by the name Queen Sheba. And she said one of the things about her is she pretty much is fearless. And that is a feature and a trait that a lot of people don't have. And I would have to say that I would agree that that's something that she embodied, but I do believe other people try to instill that in her. Because think about it. How many people do you know of? You may not know them personally, but they are in terrible situations and they feel stuck because of their circumstances or their responsibilities. Well, I can't leave because I've got all these kids. And some people have less children than Melody had. And I'm not saying that there were not moments where she second guessed, because she said she had made attempts to leave before. And she finally decided, I'm done. I'm good on this. And it's over. 4-4. 4 plus 4 equals 8. New beginnings. And she decided that I'm out of this. I can make it. But just what we have seen that they allowed to not be edited out and sit on the cutting room floor, we were able to see her ex-husband try to make it seem like she's not going to be able to make it. Nobody's going to want you. We did all of this together. I was the one that made all of these things happen, trying to take credit for everything. We saw Letitia's mom, you know, she was insinuating and making comments like, who's going to want you with all them kids, and you need to go back to your husband, and all kinds of stuff like that. It was just a lot of fear that other people were trying to instill in her. So it is sometimes when you may be walking in a state of no fear, but you will have other outside forces that will try to instill that fear in you. And I'm so glad that she did not allow that to stop her and block her from moving forward, because look at where she's at now. And I know that nigga scrolls through her Instagram. She probably has him blocked, so he probably has to use a burner account. Okay. And I can guarantee you he scrolls through that Instagram and he's looking in the mirror like, what the hell did I do? He left a woman for a child. And he's not even with the child. Like, they're not even in a relationship. He could not, I would say, even bring himself to claim her when he did that sit down interview with Tasha some months ago. And look how time has flown. Just since that interview, it's been a few months. And look at how much time has gone by since she decided to be done with him for good and move forward. And unfortunately, she still has those attachments to him because of the children. But other than that, she's rid herself of the last name. She's rid herself of all of that drama. And the only time that she has to respond to anything is dealing with the court system. And that's not fun either. So I'm not saying that that's a good thing. But if he did indeed get admitted into a psych ward for evaluations and possible treatment, it'll never bring back what he lost, ever. And she tried to make it a situation where it's like, look, we could be friendly towards each other. We may even, because when they did the vacation, where really it was her vacation with the kids, and she invited him and his mom to go along with them, that was a few seasons ago. She tried to sit down and have a conversation with him to say, look, we could probably still do trips like this. If I'm dating someone, that person may be coming along. And hey, if you're dating someone, maybe that person can come along too. She tried. And he has been such a psychopath where she was just like, I can't even have him in my presence because it's always going to be something. So new beginnings, it definitely is. It has been for her. 4-4 is very significant. I don't know if she realizes that, but I wanted to talk about it because I know for me and in my life, there have been so many situations and scenarios. And when I look back and I counted things up and it was like 8, and for whatever that situation was, it was like, oh my God, definitely new beginnings. Definitely. So I just wanted to talk about that briefly, guys. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.